Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Sunday the 19th of February 2023 in today's Millwall news. Let's start off with the 5 takeaways from londonnewsonline.co.uk. And yeah, I like this photo. Why do I like this photo? Because I see the photo on the OS, on the official site, and it had the ball, and he's got writing all over it. And I was trying to find some more photos of it, trying to see what the players wrote. You can see here, we can see one clearly. It says, I heart doing these for you, brothers. And it's 15, so that's Cresswell. The one up there says Mr. Ammo or AMD, AMO, Bradshaw. And that's got a 3, so I presume that's Murray Wallace. And there was another one that said very Spanish, Feliciados, which I believe is like, thank you very much or something like that. And it's got it looks like a Z, or it might be a 2. So it's either Zion wrote that, or Danny McNamara wrote that. So what does that mean? Kind of interesting to get insight into the bants between the players, like very Spanish. But interesting, huh? 5 takeaways from Mill's 3-2 win over Sheffield United. Keep Bradshaw and bubble wrap as Vogie picks up assists. Mill will move back into the Championship playoff places after a thrilling 3-2 victory over Sheffield United yesterday. Here are Richard Corley's takeaways from the match. And breathe. You've got to love the Championship, or at least you can say that when your side has come out on the top in a 5-goal thriller. Trying to pick the bones out of Mill's win over Sheffield United is tricky just because of how much went on in the fixture. You couldn't take your eyes off for a split second without the risk of missing something. The Lions were excellent for their opening 45 minutes. They should have been ahead. Instead, Tommy Dole's free kick, their first ever on target, left them on level terms. But twice they went back in front through Tom Bradshaw with the striker's 88th finish, finally setting a humdinger. He had a strong shout for penalty when the scoreline was 1-0, but the assistant referee made a poor call that it was offside from Jake Cooper's flick on, and the picture below illustrates that definitely wasn't the case. But yeah, he was not offside. It was not offside, although, here's the thing. To be fair, to play what would the opposite of devil's advocate be? Angel's advocate. To be fair to the referee, look, you're pausing it, you're zooming in, you've got all these different angles. They've got one angle, it's called real life, reality, live, action. 2 eyes in front of you, and he's also moving along at the time. He's right. He's in motion. So I can say because we won the game. If we lost, I'd be spitting feathers. Hey ho. Brad saw. Gary Rowett joked about trying to trick Bradshaw into thinking every home game is live on Sky Sports. Both his troubles this season coming in games that were on the box. But while the Millwall boss talks about ordering fake cameras from Amazon, he might also want to get a load of bubble wrap to protect his hat-trick hero. Bradshaw's latest match ball means that the Lions number 9 has gone past his total for last season, with plenty of matches to go. Yes, well done, Bradshaw. And we absolutely know that Bradshaw is going to get more games. The worry is that there isn't a whole load of other options to play that role if he needs a rest. Oliver Burke could be played through the middle, but I'm not sure that you can match the engine of Bradshaw, who covers so much ground in matches. Well, at the end of the game, I know it was only like injury time and a couple of minutes when Bradshaw went off in the 89th minute. They actually put Watmore up there, so that was interesting. Obviously, he wasn't up there on his own because we weren't really playing. We were just trying to defend. So, there you go. But is that an option? Millwall have already got a number of players ruled out. If they were to lose their joint top scorer, then it's arguably the toughest ball to fill. Bradshaw played 28 matches last season, with Benicofo also taking some of the load off him. He has played 28 in the current campaign. Well, that's great. Thanks for pointing that out, because now he's going to get injured, isn't he? He probably already is. I think Gary Rowett said in his post-match that he got a little knock on his calf or something. So you could go to the Burnley game, which the tickets are selling pretty well for that at the minute. I had a look on there earlier. Tickets are flying off the shelves. So we could get to do, before the Burnley game, the team comes out and Bradshaw's not in it. Because we seem to be losing a player a game at the moment. Mitch Hitch, it's sounding as if Billy Mitchell could be ruled out for a number of weeks. He's set to see a specialist this week, but a swift return is not set to be on the cards. James Shackleton, whose last start prior to yesterday was at the end of October, produced the best performance I've seen from him since he pulled on the Millwall shirt. Yes, very good from Shackleton yesterday. We know that Mitchell is consistently one of the line's strongest performers. The challenge for Shackleton, whose long-term future is very much up in the air, is also to chain together the big displays. This was a promising start. While we are talking about the midfield area, it can't pass without mention George Saville. He made the most tackles in the match, was second for interceptions and joint second for clearances. The work he does for the team isn't always something that grabs the headlines, but the former Wolves and Middlesbrough player was right up there for pick of the Mill performers. Yes, indeed. And one thing about Saville, he's got his head screwed on. I don't know if you see him during the match. He clearly knew that the Sky cameras were on him, because every time he was speaking to someone, he would cover his mouth with his hand. So I don't know if he's got in trouble for something that he said in the past, or if he's saying things he shouldn't be saying, trying to wind people up. But he stuck his hand over his mouth, so the lip readers can lip read him. Unbeaten at 10 at home. There's not really much more we can keep saying about the Lions' results at the Den. They haven't lost there since they were outplayed by QPR on September the 14th. Oh, that was a bad one. Their record since then is 1-6 and drawn 4. And now they get to test themselves there against the outstanding team in the division on Tuesday night. Leaders Burnley won 1-0 at Luton Town yesterday to move 15 points clear of third place Middlesbrough. The Clarets have the best away record in the Championship, 31 points from 15 matches. But then again, Sheffield United had the joint best travelling record with Burnley heading into the weekend, and that didn't faze Millwall one bit. Indeed. Picking Vogie. Andres Vogelsam was one of the two unenforced changes made by Rao yesterday, and both of them came off. It was Oliver Burke's pass down the right, which was levelled home by Wes Rotherham's near post for Bradshaw's opening goal, and then Vogelsam assisted for the other two. The German attackers only scored once in 28 matches for Millwall, but if he can keep delivering quality balls into the box, it will do his chances of holding down a starting spot no harm at all. Vogelsam puts a fair bit of devil on his crosses, and quite for intent gave the United backline plenty of issues. Indeed. Vogelsam getting a bit of stick recently, and then he gets 2 assists in a 3-2 victory over the second team that's second in the league. Now, more from yesterday's game. Tom Bradshaw, LondonNewsOnline.co.uk. Tom Bradshaw has praised the mentality of his Millwall team after their epic 3-2 win over Sheffield United yesterday. The striker scored a hat-trick against the Blazers. The hosts bounced back emphatically from their midweek 1-0 reverse at Coventry City. When you're on the pitch, you know when we're really on it, Bradshaw told Millwall TV. It felt like that from the first minute. They were on top, the counter-attacks and the press was bang on. The scored hat-trick was the icing on the cake. Vogie was brilliant today, and Bergie. The two wide lads were superb. Bergie put the perfect weighted ball on and I lashed it. Luckily, it went into the roof of the net. Vogie's cross for the second one is easy to lash at them in those positions. It's a great ball. The third one is a lot harder than it looks. To pick the right ball in those moments, I did my best to try and put it over. It shows the character of the team and the belief that we went up against a side who are second in the league and have got a lot of points. We weren't happy with the draw. We kept going for the win. The manager told us to keep doing what we were doing and you will get the breakthroughs. Indeed. And now a third story from LondonNewsOnline.co.uk. Some more information about Billy Mitchell's injury. Millwall boss discusses Billy Mitchell's ankle injury. Billy Mitchell was not set for a swift return to Millwall's squad. The midfielder missed yesterday's 3-2 win over Sheffield United with an ankle problem. Mitchell is set to see a specialist next week. We reported on Friday that Mason Bennett had suffered ligament damage, not a break, after being stretched off against Sunderland. With Mason, we're happy that he doesn't need surgery, said Lions boss Garrett. We're happy that we should see him again this season. I think at that point, that was really the best case scenario. With Billy, it looks like it's a little bit similar to Mason. Until the specialist has seen him, we won't know the exact outcome There's definite damage to his ligaments, damage to his ankle, but I don't think he'll be back any time soon regardless. But we'll await the outcome. It's a big blow to us again to have the like of Uchi out, the likes of Benno out, to have Billy out and Starzy out. We've got a small squad, we've got to ride it and try and get through it, but it's always going to be a challenge for a small group like ours. Yeah, it's not an easy one to get back from. Don't even know what it was, so could be a while before we see Billy Mitchell again, which is a shame because he's one of our better players. Now, obviously, Sunday. There's not a lot going on today. We have the post-match from leftover post-match from yesterday's game, and we also talk about the stats. So we're going to start off with this from infogoal.net. The XG, remarkably, according to infogoal.net, the XG was 1.51 for us and 1.65 for them. We had a lower XG, which is interesting, but let's have a look and see where they were. So we've got the shot map here. We can see where the shots were taken and how big of a chance they were. The bigger the circle, this measures XG. The big circle is the better XG, and as you would imagine, a shot that's like in the 6-yard box is one of the highest XGs, and that's a 70% chance. So 7 out of 10 that's going in. That's Bradshaw. That's his goal, third goal. His other 2 goals are here. You can see we're shooting from all over the place. Our next best one was this one, Bradshaw. That was the first chance that Bradshaw had. That was 30% roughly. So you can see these are all of Millwall's shots, and here are all of Sheffield United's shots. Again, they had 3 shots inside the 6-yard box apparently, and most of their shots were inside the area. They had 3 outside the area, and one of those went in, which obviously the free kick. That was a 5% chance of that going in. So as everyone has said, George Long really should have done better than that. Fairness rating 80.26 out of 100. That was a fair result, more or less. The team that should have won. It's kind of weird because they have us on lower XG, but hey ho. So first half. Ooh, okay. So first half, we were at them. And they basically had 2 shots. So that was it. That one there, and the one that went in. So that was undeserved for them. They didn't deserve to go in at half time at 1-1. Would that have led to a different game? Would Millwall, if they were in the lead at half time, would they have done something different? And you can see second half. So obviously, Sheffield United think, what the fuck are we doing here? Let's fucking go at them. And they do, and there they are. Boom. And they only managed to get the 1 goal, which is a testament to the defence and the structure of the Millwall team. And here's Millwall in the second half. Someone shot from all the way over there. Was that Vogie? Yeah. And is this Simon Fleming? Yeah. So there you go. Getting 4 shots inside the area. Getting it done. Now let's move on to whoscored.com, which, here's the thing. It's Sunday. I've got to make a video. The channel's called the Daily Millwall, so I've got to make it. I've set up a thing that I'm gonna make a video every day, and on Sundays I talk about the stats. But when we're looking at it in this situation on this website, looking at each individual player, it kind of feels kind of redundant, because what was the motivating factor in winning that game yesterday? It was the teamwork. It was the spirit, the togetherness, the fight, the courage, and just the all-round focus of that 11 men in Millwall shirts and the way they played yesterday. But like I said, Daily Millwall, today is a day. I'll make a video, so here we go. Millwall were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities through individual skill and from through balls and from the flanks. and from counter-attacks, and were strong at finishing. We favoured through balls. So here we go. We've had 13 attempts on goal. They've had 11, 10 to 4 open play, 2 to 6 set piece, 1 to 1 counter attacks. Now, weirdly, the home team on this website are always on orange. The away team are in blue. So that's kind of jarring because it's the reverse of the colours that were actually in play yesterday. Here you can see we were mostly going down the right hand side, and they were mostly going down the left hand side, which probably cancelled each other out. And again, I think we've got back to the point. Maybe they thought Danny McNamara was the weak link, or maybe that's just where their better player was. I don't know. Shot directions, shot zones, action zones. That's, I think, yeah. Player positions. There you go. And you can see, if you saw the game, the stats video I did for the Coventry game, you can see Bradshaw's and Zion Fleming are a lot closer together. You can see in the Coventry one, he was miles away from him, a lot farther apart. So there you go. Cresswell kind of sticking back. McNamara bombing a bit more forward. Nice. And you can see Voggy cutting inside a lot. And inside, obviously trying to, at times, be the second striker. At times, get back on the wing. Interesting. Okay. You've already seen some of the things on the left, on the right hand side. Top performers, top shots, total tackles, dribbles. Moving on now to, here are the match events. There's a lot of them to go through. Remarkably, so 3 yellow cards for us, 4 for them. They were the first one to make a sub. Interestingly, took off the goal, the geezer that scored the goal from nothing. Kind of weird. Like, if he could do that, all they have to do is get free kicks, and maybe he could do it again. But it took him off, and he did look. I think he looked a bit upset when he came off. So they were the first one to make a change. Then they made the second change, and then we make a change as well, more defensive, kind of. Leonard coming on. And as I said in yesterday's video, you could see on the sideline that the subs were about to be made. Well, that goal went in because Rao, it said 2-2. They've just scored. We need to do something. Okay, let's bring on Watmore and Malone, and maybe Evans as well, and then we'll shut up shop and keep the 2-2. But Bradshaw was having other ideas, and he ended up getting that goal just before he got subbed off. So fantastic stuff there. So let's have a look at who did what in that game and what happened. So crowd of 15,571, and it was probably just as loud as the game against Sunderland. If you look at the top left and top right by the club badges, you can see 6.76 player rating average for Millwall and 6.61 for Sheffield United. Clearly, obviously, Bradshaw, man of the match, according to this, 9.4. Hat trick. That, I think you score a hat trick, it's instantly man of the match, isn't it? It's got to be. Bogelshammer next up with the 2 assists. And then you've got Burke and Fleming and Saville above that, yeah. And the lowest rated player on the whole pitch, Jefferson. Yeah, probably agree with that. He wasn't really doing much, and when it didn't come off him, he was just moaning at the referee, wasn't he? And Fotheringham, 6.2. Agree, but for me, all the lowest rating, Wallace, Murray Wallace. Interesting. We'll look into that and see why that is. So shots 13 to 11. So Bradshaw having 6 shots to get those 3 goals. Interestingly, so we had a lot of set pieces. In my mind, I believe we had a lot of set pieces. Neither Cooper nor Cresswell or Murray Wallace getting in on the action in terms of heading towards goal. We didn't rely on the set pieces. We were mostly the ball was coming up to Fleming, and then the 2 wide men were cutting inside, trying to go between the centre backs and the full backs and finding the gap. Because they were really just standing up Fleming. They weren't trying to tackle him, they were standing him up. And that gave him time. He can just jink it the ball around and just spray it around. Sometimes he just did weird little passes that went awry, but he's not perfect. But so possession wise, 48 to 51. So Saville with the most possession, 5.9. That's percent of total match time. The ball was in Saville's possession for 5.9 there. And then McNamara and Murray Wallace. Pass success percentage 68 to 72. Shackleton 88. You can see Fleming 85. So a lot of the play was going through Fleming. And then he was choosing where to go with it. Dribbles 5 to 8. Aerials 1, 30 to 31. So yeah, Cooper with 7 aerials 1, which isn't the most in the game because you got McBurney of 8 and Robinson of 8. I think that may have stymied them in terms of they weren't really a quick counter-attacking team because McBurney was doing a lot of defensive work and set plays. So he's defending corners and free kicks and whatnot. And then when they try and break, he's still in the back. Tackles 11 to 12. So you can see Saville with 3 tackles, but Cooper didn't have a tackle. Wallace didn't have a tackle. Interesting. Corners 4 to 5. Dispossessed 6 to 8. Having the ball taken off. Yeah, Fleming. Yeah, like I said, a fair bit of time that happened to him. He just did kind of get stuck, and then, but a lot of the time he was setting up the plays. So let's move on. Last but not least to this. So let's do this by rating. As we can see, so we've got Bradshaw on 9.5, basically 9.44. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 players on 7s. Then we've got Cooper, Cresswell, McNamara, George Long, not bad. So who was bottom? Yeah, Murray Wallace 6.11 of the lowest of the players. Here's the thing. So you've got Tom Bradshaw, 6 shots, 4 on target, 3 goals. Passing accuracy of 82, which is high for him. Obviously linking up with Vogelsammer and Zion Fleming. Aerials 1-3, but touches 28. He only had 28 touches of the ball. So he's picking it up, passing it to another Millwall player, 82.4. We'll see how many passes he had later. And he's managed to just have 3 shots. I think the shots were hit for 2 of the shots were hit first time. One was he kicked it in, and the other was a header. I think the other one he took a touch, didn't he? So 28 touches to get 3 goals. I mean, damn, bro. Like, someone joked online earlier, someone said they rewatched the match, and apart from scoring a hat trick, Bradshaw didn't do anything. Which is, it's funny, but you can see that 28 touches in 88 minutes of football. He's got a hat trick. That's all it takes, isn't it? That's all you need. Yes, let's move. Let's have a quick look and see. So obviously we've got, what was it? 13 shots there. How many were actually on target? 6. The 13, 6, and then 3. That's the ratio. That's roughly the ratio. However many shots you have, half of them will be on target, and half of them should be goals, and it's roughly there, more or less. And that's you know when you're doing well though. Against Iron Fang, 3 shots, 0 on target. His shooting boots seem to have gone, but he played very well yesterday in terms of managing the attack. So let's move on and have a look. Okay, it's busted again. I could try and I think this worked before. If I refresh it, and we'll see if it does. No, it probably won't. No, it does. Yeah, cool. So were we offside a lot? Not really. Because against Coventry we were. We had like 5 or 6 offsides. Defensively, as we saw, who had the tackles? It was Saville and Cresswell. Ryan Leonard, 2. Ooh, not bad. Coming on 20 minutes on the pitch or so. Just getting in 2 tackles. Nice one. And the clearance. And a foul. So yeah, George Saville again. The defending coming higher up the pitch. George Saville. Interceptions again. George Saville number 1. Then McNamara. Then Jake Cooper. Clearances. 6 for Cooper. 3 for Saville. 3 for Cresswell. McNamara, Shackleton, George Long. Blocked shots. 2 for Cooper, then Saville, then Cresswell. In terms of fouls, as you can see, Zion Fleming gave away 1 foul, got a yellow card. Honeyman gave away 1 foul, got a yellow card. Bit harsh, and then you got Cooper giving away 3 fouls, gets a yellow card. Passing wise. So who had the most passes? George Saville, 42, 71% accuracy. Murray Wallace 39.59. That's probably what's expected he score. That's not the best. If you've got to pick out Shackleton here, 33 passes, 87.9. Bradshaw had 17. Bradshaw had 17 passes. So remember, what was it? 28 touches, 17 passes, 3 goals off of 28 touches. Damn, bro. Passing accuracy for George Long way down compared to the last game. Last game was a lot better. 25%. 28 passes. 25 of them were long, and that was 25 and 4. 25 long balls, 4 accurate. Yeah. Crosses and accurate crosses. Let's have a look now. Boggle Summer, 8 and 1. George Saville 3 and 0, 3 and 2. Now you say, hang on a minute. How is it 8 and 1 when Boggle Summer got two assists from crosses? Accurate crosses means the ball goes to your fellow teammate. I don't think they include it if you put it into space and someone runs onto it. I'm not sure how it works. They don't really explain their methods. Probably they don't want someone to nick it. But yeah, that will be why that is. Long balls and accurate long balls. As we've seen, George Long 25, but only 4 found the Millwall player. 13 and 9 for Cresswell. Very good. Very, very good. Murray Wallace down 12 and 3 again, way down. Probably messed up his score. 6 and 3 for Cooper. 5 and 1 for Vogelsammer. 4 and 4 for Saville. Another thing I've just realised. Right, so let's go back here and go back to where is it? Tackles. So as we've seen, Cooper and Wallace didn't make a tackle. But then we go back to here. Is it this one? Yeah. And go to here, and you can see Sheffield United were mostly going down the left hand side. So there wasn't really tackling. They had less opportunities to do so down that side. If You understand what I'm saying? So you could say, well, Wallace had a shit game. He got 6.11 on the WhoScored.com ratings, but he didn't really have a lot of chance to tackle, or a lot of chance to clear or intercept, because Sheffield United half of the time were going down the other side, Danny McNamara's side, so the score's based on what you produce in a game. If you don't produce a tackle, you don't produce a clearance or an interception or a block shot, your score's not going to go up. You can see the three players who are the highest rated well, two of them are the ones that did stuff. Scored the 3 goals and got the 2 assists. So there you go. Yeah, and on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.